Hello there everybody, my name's Waddles, what's going on? Today I'm coming at you with 4 more simple 1.13 farms. So a few weeks ago I did a part 1 to this video and you guys seem to absolutely love the video. So I went back to the drawing board and brainstormed up a few more farms that are pretty easy to build in the update aquatic. I will leave timestamps in the description to each farm and I will briefly explain each farm and show how to build each farm. So I think it's time to flip it over tonight for our first farm. Right behind me is a very simple zombie farm. This thing is automatic. You can set it up and it will just run forever. So what's going on here is zombies hate turtle eggs. For some reason, they absolutely hate them and will try to destroy them. With this little farm here, any zombies that see the turtle eggs will go for the turtle egg and end up falling and dying because of a magma block. There's a collection system down below to pick up any of their loot. And like I said, you don't need to do a single thing to make this thing work. So what you need to build this farm is right here, laid out in this chest, I think exactly. Other than the water buckets, you will need 4 water buckets, and you will need a building block that isn't sand. You're also going to need a silk touch pickaxe to pick up turtle eggs, because that's how the whole farm is working. As long as you don't put these turtle eggs on a sand block, they will never hatch. So you'll be good if you use cobblestone, wood, dirt, even anything. The trapdoor's purpose is to trick the mobs into thinking that there is a solid block and that they can walk straight over to the turtle eggs. But they cannot, and they will walk and fall. Down below is the whole setup of the farm. I'm not going to go ahead and build another version of it because it's pretty simple. Right here I have a magma block with a hopper minecart right below it. The hopper minecart is sitting on top of a hopper that has a rail on it. The hopper down here is going into the chest, so anything that wanders into this farm will get killed on this block, and the hopper minecart will pick things up through the block, because hoppers will not pick up items through a block. So everything gets thrown into this chest. As you can see, I have some chicken loot in here, and some sheep stuff as well, which is pretty cool. Now, up top here, all I've done is I've put turtle eggs in the middle and then went out 2 blocks in every direction from this turtle egg and dug down 3 blocks. I have water sources in each and every corner to funnel all the water towards the middle. Then I have 2 signs right in here. There's one on the wall and then one on top of that sign on the wall to stop the water from all going down. Now, additionally, if you set this thing up near an ocean, drowned that spawn may see the turtle egg and wander into the trap as well, so you could make an automatic drown farm with this thing. Of course, this isn't the best way to farm drowned, but it is a way. So that rounds up the first farm in this video. Swinging on over into the nether, we have almost the same thing. Right here is a semi-automatic pigmen farm using pretty much the same exact mechanics. We're using trapdoors to trick pigmen into thinking that they can get to the turtle eggs that they hate. Now, this idea was directly suggested on the last part by Nykel. So thank you very much, Nykel, for the suggestion. This is a genius idea. Now, this one is a little bit more expensive to build. Again, I've laid out pretty much everything you will need exactly in this chest, and then down here in the middle are optional things. You could use a sticky piston, which I'll explain why, and you could use a hopper and a chest. So all of this stuff in the middle is optional. Of course, you will need pigmen for this farm as well. Now, the rates of this farm will really depend on where you build it in the nether. I have not built this farm in an optimal location. Ideally, you want to set this thing up in the middle of a field, because this is working solely on pigmen naturally spawning. Of course, I have a spawner over here for example, just to show you that pigmen will go for the turtle egg, but you want to build this in a field. Now, there is a little bit of redstone going on here, but it's not that complex. I have a pressure plate sitting right in front of a repeater, and a piston right above that repeater. Now, of course, to power the piston, I have a dust sitting right behind the repeater. So every time I trigger this pressure plate, the piston will push out. This farm is very similar to a blaze farm, where we're just funneling everything down to one central location in the bottom, because of course, as you might know, magma blocks will not hurt pigmen. In case you're looking for a more direct view of what's going on, right here is the placement of the whole piston powering setup. Now, I just lined this stuff with some easier to look at blocks for your sake, but copy this same design on the middle of each side and on both tiers. There should be 2 tiers. Now we get into the optional stuff if we go down below. You will want a trap door and a ladder to get down into this space, just like you would on the other design. I didn't mention that. But right here I have a crusher set up with a sticky piston pushing a block into the pigment. It's very, very noisy, but you won't aggro the pigment at all. So right here, if I flip over into survival, just to show you, if I use this crusher, the pigment will not aggro towards me. Right here, this guy does not care about me whatsoever. That's the benefit of using a crusher. However, you could take a looting sword and get a whole lot more gold nuggets and I guess perhaps rotten flesh from these guys if that's what you're trying to do. It's all up to you. The crusher is very, very simple here. All I have is a lever sitting next to a sticky piston that is connected to any solid block. Then all you need to do is turn a lever on and it will crush the pigment. Now, like I said, this is noisy and it will take a little bit of time, but it will work. The hopper is totally optional. It's just collecting everything automatically and throwing it in a chest. But that rounds up the second easy farm on this list using turtle eggs. For this next farm, we are all done with nighttime and all done with hostile mobs. This next farm is a simple Podzol Farm. In case you don't know, giant spruce trees will grow Podzol now when you grow them. So for this farm, all you need is lots of bone meal, lots of spruce saplings, and then some building blocks and some dirt. The point of the building blocks is to make harvesting the Podzol a whole lot easier. Now, what I've done here is I've gone 4 out from the center of this thing in every direction, and then I went ahead and placed 2 layers of cobblestone. So 1 layer is even with the ground, and 1 is popping out of the ground. Now you grow your giant tree, and Podzol will fill in this area. Then take your Silk Touch shovel, and if you're over in survival, you will understand the point of this cobblestone wall. The cobblestone wall will prevent you from digging up too much land and having to replace a bunch of dirt unnecessarily. So this is a pretty simple farm, and it's not even necessary. You don't need to harvest your Podzol like this, but this will contain your Podzol spread and make harvesting a whole lot easier. Now, if you want, you coat the bottom of this thing with some kind of solid block that can't be dug out as well. Maybe more cobblestone on the bottom, but I didn't see that as necessary. This is really just to prevent me from accidentally going maybe a little too overkill and digging really far like that when I'm trying to harvest my Podzol or something like that. But it's a pretty simple farm and a nice little contained area, and you definitely can build something like this on your first night, but you will need to go and get Silk Touch for this farm to work, so maybe you're not using it on your first day. And finally, we're back in nighttime for the final farm in this video. Right here is less of a farm and more of a safe method for killing phantoms. You could turn this into a phantom farm, however, if you set up a safe AFK area. So what this is a 3-wide hallway with cobwebs down the middle. Now, I understand cobwebs might be a little trickier to get because you will have to go into a mine shaft to get them. However, once you do get them, this farm is very, very easy to set up. This can be as long as you want or as short as you want, but the cobwebs will catch phantoms for you and make killing them a whole lot easier. So if I flip over to a difficulty where I can spawn a phantom and then go down into this thing and flip into survival, the phantom will eventually detect me and try to dive bomb me. When the phantom dive bombs you, what you want to do is separate the phantom and yourself with the cobwebs here. The cobwebs will catch the phantom just like this, and then you can take your swings right at the phantom nice and easily, just like that. As you saw, the phantom died real easily. This completely eliminates the need to run around and avoid phantoms. Like I mentioned as well, you could make this a phantom farm very easily by AFKing, like right here or something, and just paying attention. You will need to watch and make sure phantoms aren't spawning and dive bombing you, because if they're spawning and you're standing in this corner, they could very easily kill you. You want to use the cobwebs to really just catch them and then kill them with your weapon of choice. Now, the point of the iron doors on the outside is to prevent things from getting in. Also, when you build this, make sure mobs can't just jump right over the wall. That would defeat the purpose of this whole farm. You will also want to make sure that the inside is nice and lit up. So the materials you need are building blocks and cobwebs. That's it. That's all you need. And technically, I guess, iron doors if you'd like. But you don't even need to put a door. You could just build blocks and break the blocks when you're done in this thing. And so those are 4 more simple farms that you can build using 1.13 mechanics to do new things in your world. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope one of them opened your eyes to something. Maybe you learned something in this video. If you did, that would be cool. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go and check that out. You might be interested in them. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and consider subscribing if you haven't yet, because that really helps me out, and I guarantee that if you liked this video, there's more content that you will like on my channel. My name is Waddles, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.